Hi, Ann Thibodeau here, owner of Horizon Coaching Solutions, and welcome to my kitchen. This is what's cooking today, the video to watch if you need a boost of inspiration or confidence in the kitchen. I'm here to show you how easy it can be to cook healthy meals from scratch for you and your family, even on the busiest of weekday evenings. So what does a healthy meal look like to you? To me, it means a balanced meal prepared from scratch using whole ingredients with as little processed ingredients as possible. That's it. So we eat pasta, we eat red meat, and things like grilled cheese sandwiches sometimes. Let's get real here. One of my most important jobs is to feed my two boys so that they're nourished and thriving. And in order for that to happen, I have to meet them in the middle and make some meals that they actually enjoy eating, while also encouraging them to develop their palate by trying new foods. It's not always easy and it doesn't always go as planned, but I don't let that discourage me from trying again the next day. The key for me is to choose meals that I can make quickly, that will nourish my family, but that won't have me spending much more than 30 minutes in the kitchen. Like this Instant Pot spaghetti. That's what's for dinner at our place tonight. So let's get this Instant Pot spaghetti started. I've got my trusty Instant Pot. This is the 6-quart Instant Pot. I have it turned on to the saute mode, and as you can see here on the screen, it says hot, so it's time to get cooking. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of, maybe about a tablespoon of avocado oil, which is the oil I prefer to use over high heat cooking. It has a higher smoke point than, say, olive oil, and so it's a safer oil to use when you're using over a hot heat like we are now. And to that I'm going to add, these are my veggies. And I'm going to drop in just over a pound of ground beef. So yeah, I'm using ground beef here, just regular old ground beef. You can definitely do this with any kind of ground meat that you'd like. Ground chicken is really good in here. You can even make this like a vegetable protein base, so use lentils instead. The only thing I would say is, especially if you're using the Instant Pot, is to check to make sure that you're using the right liquid ratio if you're doing this with lentils or another type of legume. So I'm just going to give this a stir. This is nice and hot, so it's going to cook really quickly, and I just want to break this down into small pieces. So we'll let this hang out for a minute or two to get cooking. In this measuring cup, so you'll see I have about 8 cups of mixed vegetables in here. So I have got some onions, carrots, celery, which are traditional, and then I also had some leftover green cabbage in my fridge, and I thought, I'm just going to throw it in there. Nobody's going to even know it's there, and at the same time, it's increasing our quantity of vegetables in this sauce. So to me, the more vegetables you can pack into a spaghetti sauce, the better. Plus you can chop them up really small and hide them really well in there. Which, you know, if you are feeding young children, as I am, sometimes that's the key to getting some veggies into them. So once this ground meat is like, you know, half cooked or so, I'm going to go ahead and add all of my veggies. There we go. This aside here. Give this a good stir. And I'm going to let this hang out in the pot for just a couple of minutes until the vegetables, you know, not until they're fully cooked. That's not what we're looking for. We just want them to get nice and heated through until the celery and the onion have become almost a little bit translucent. While that's going, the next thing I want to do here is add some garlic. So I have a really nice big garlic clove here, and I'll show you the easy way to put garlic in a sauce or in a dish if you're not looking to chop that garlic. So just give it a good whack with a knife. This will just loosen the skin so that it peels right off. And then with your intact garlic clove, so I love to use a zester for this job, the same that you would use to zest a lemon, or maybe shave some Parmesan cheese or something like that. And so just, you know, go ahead and grate your garlic. Now this is a really big bulb here, so if I was using regular garlic, I would probably do 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, but because this one is giant, we'll stick to just one. And there you go. Watch your fingers because this is sharp, but it's super quick. Give this a good whack, and we've got all of that delicious garlic in there. And because it's chopped up so small, it's actually going to release way more flavor than if you would have chopped it by hand. Now is the perfect time to add some spices to this recipe, some seasonings, a little bit more flavor. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use about a tablespoon of Epicure's marinara mix and add it straight to my veggies and ground meat. Now, if you don't have this, no sweat. You can definitely just use like an Italian seasoning blend or something like that. Some oregano, you know, some parsley, garlic powder, all of those things would be really great in here. Some crushed chili peppers if you like it spicy. I'm keeping this a little bit more bland than I normally would, I suppose, just for my kids' sake. So I added a little bit of sea salt in there as well. Give this a stir, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like in the pot, and we'll move forward to the next step, which is adding the tomato sauce and the noodles. Now, this is kind of like a baked spaghetti. Everything gets thrown into this Instant Pot, and you know, after a nine-minute wait with the pressure on, it's ready, and you have just this amazing spaghetti. I've had my Instant Pot for maybe 2 or 3 years now, and ever since I've tried the spaghetti recipe, this is the only way I've made it since then. So let me take this out here. This is what we've got going on. So some veggies, some ground meat. It looks good. So get this back on the heat. The next step is to add, I've got just under 3 cups, so this is like a large can of just plain tomato sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and add this. And then I'm going to add the exact same amount of water. Very important to have enough water when you're cooking with the Instant Pot, especially when you're making a tomato-based dish. Otherwise, you'll have a burnt mess at the bottom of your lining pan, and the pressure is never going to rise as much as it should. And yeah, you're gonna have to figure out something else for dinner. So always good to follow a recipe at first when you're getting acquainted with your Instant Pot, until you get comfortable enough to wing it. Now, I'm just gonna stir this around, make sure everything is mixed in really well. It looks really soupy right now, but that's okay. It should, because it needs some of that water to cook the pasta. Now, I'm using just regular plain old white spaghetti today. You could definitely do this with a whole wheat pasta as well. I've tried that. If you're looking to use, like, go gluten-free and use a rice pasta, brown rice pasta or something like that, I would probably recommend just cooking the sauce on its own in the Instant Pot and then cooking your noodles on the side, because I haven't had the best experience using brown rice noodles in the Instant Pot. They tend to disintegrate and fall apart really easily. So I have my spaghetti. Now the trick is I'm gonna dump this in here, cover it with the liquid without stirring too much. So am I gonna be strong enough to do this? Yep, there we go. Good thing I worked out this morning. Okay. And then I'm just gonna press the noodles down, and they're all in a bunch, and that's okay. I just wanna make sure that they're submerged underneath the liquid, so you actually can't see these noodles anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the saute function off just by hitting cancel. Then I'll grab my lid. Now, if you've never used your Instant Pot before, you'll know that once it comes up to pressure, this little silver pin out here will stick up. So you wanna seal it, and you'll know that the lid is on properly because of that music you just heard. And you wanna turn, I'll take the lid off to show you. So this is this little valve here. This is the pressure valve. So I don't even know if you can see it because it's black. Okay, here we go. When it's pointed down, the vent is open. When it's pointed up, it is sealed. So if you want something to seal under pressure, this valve needs to be pointed up. And then when you want to release the pressure, you just turn it this way. So I'll get my lid on, I'll seal it, and I'll just hit manual, and I'll set it for 9 minutes. 9 minutes, that's it. In 9 minutes, this is going to be ready. So my timer went off just a couple of minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, actually. So let this rest 5 minutes. This is what we call letting the pressure release naturally for 5 minutes. So pressure is slowly going down in the pot, but if we let it go this way for too long, the noodles are going to get really soggy and clumpy, and we don't want that. So now we're going to release the pressure manually, and the way to do that is to turn this valve towards you. Now, you have to treat the Instant Pot with a lot of respect, just like you would a gas range or a source of heat, a fire, a flame, right? This is extremely hot. The contents are under pressure. So what you want to release this valve slowly. So first of all, I'm just going to move this away so that it's not shooting underneath my cupboards here. And I'm just going to slowly, and it's pretty loud. And this can take a little while, and so you gradually, so now the valve is open all the way. And I don't know if you can see this little silver pin here. I don't want to touch it because that's where the steam's coming from. It's really warm. Once the pressure's released, it's going to go right down, showing me that the pressure has gone and that it's safe to open the lid. Any minute now. You can tell that it's dying down a little bit. And you can hear the contents bubbling inside, so there's still a lot of liquid. That's fine, you actually want that. So there's just one more quick step that we have to do before we're ready to eat, and it's another waiting period. So I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like this dish has been pretty hands-off, right? You just kind of mix everything, get your meat and veggies cooking in the beginning, and then, you know, you add your sauce, your water, your pasta, you turn it on. It cooks for 9 minutes. It takes maybe about 10 minutes to get up to pressure before that 9-minute countdown starts. And then I let this rest for about 5 minutes. So all in all, it does take a little bit longer than 30 minutes to make this meal. Maybe in about 45, you'd be ready to eat. But keep in mind that a lot of that time is actually hands off, where you can be doing something else. We're just coming to the end here, and sometimes you can give this little pressure valve, there we go, just a little nudge with a fork. And then so when you're opening the lid, so as soon as this pressure valve is lowered, you're safe to go, safe to open up the pot. So here we go then. You want to always open the lid away from you. That way if there's ever any splatter or anything like that. So you're doing this carefully, slowly, with respect, right? So this noise lets me know that the lid is loose. Ooh, can you see that? So it's still bubbly. What I want to do now is go in there and get that pasta all loosened up. So you might open this pot and think, oh my God, this recipe didn't work. It's super watery. No, because your pasta was clumped all together. It kept kind of the starches in there together. So just by mixing this up, you're breaking up the pasta, and you can tell it's not fully cooked yet, but that's okay. So you want to get in there with your fork and break up the chunks as much as possible. Get that sauce all mixed in there. If you see a clump, you just give it a stir. And then what we're going to do is just that easy. I'm just gonna plop the lid back on and give it another 5-10 minutes, and then next time you open the pot, you'll see your noodles will be fully cooked. Most of the liquid will be absorbed and we'll be ready to eat. So I'm just gonna put this lid back down here. You don't even have to seal it. Just press it down. We'll give it a bit of a wait, and then we'll be ready to eat. Now, if you enjoyed today's recipe and want to learn to make it or others just like this on your own, but don't have the time, patience, or desire to meal plan, or maybe the confidence that it takes to get in the kitchen and to start cooking, well, if this is you, I have the perfect solution for you. Join the Horizon Coaching Solutions community as a VIP member to receive weekly dinner meal plans and grocery lists delivered straight to your inbox every single week. You'll even gain access to one live monthly group health coaching call, a private Facebook group for added support and accountability, and so much more. I will be launching this community over the next week or so, so stay tuned and make sure to watch next week's video for more details. If you want to reserve your spot right now, just send me a quick message and you'll be the first to know when I take this service live.